Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you've been watching or listening to us from. This is the Naija FC podcast on Eagle Tracker, the home of Nigerian football. As always, I'm your host, Ayoti, and I have with me once again my reliable co host.
Smith Lai, nice to be here again.
Yes. This is the show where we bring you our raw, unfiltered, honest, undiluted opinions on all the hottest and latest topics in the world of Nigerian football. We've been known to be very entertaining. We've been known to be very educational, very informative, but also sometimes controversial. But at the end of the day, whether you like us or you hate us, you have to watch us, and that's the best part about the Naija FC podcast. So on today's episode, we want to just talk very briefly about CAF. We want to talk about the new AFCON rules and all the changes that are happening in the world of African football. And then, of course, we will talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Second friendly of the March international window is coming up. After defeating Iran, we are now going to face World Cup bound Jordan. So, yes, that is what's on the agenda for today. And if there's any other thing that pops up, we'll get into all of that. If you have any topics or any conversations that you want us to take, feel free to send it with a super chat and we'll prioritize the conversation. And of course, throughout the stream, if you want us to highlight your comment on show, if you want us to talk about anything that you have in mind or answer any questions that you might have, also feel free to send with a super chat and you'll get priority responses. There's also the opportunity to join channel as a member and also enjoy priority comments and a lot of other perks. Enough with the promo. Let us get into it. I'll start by saying, guys, like some people pointed out in the pre-show before we really got live, I'm wearing the new Nigeria jersey. This is the goalkeeper jersey. I have the home and away shirts as well. But Smila, let me ask you, when Nike dropped these new kits, so far, how are you feeling them?
Good. I wasn't really impressed. Maybe probably because the excitement of not going to the World Cup. But I like this goalkeeper jersey. It shows that I think you should be a goalkeeper or a defender.
Goalkeeper for where?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm center back.
Center back. Go center back. Yeah. Do you know this jersey reminds me of back in the days. Maybe probably 92. You will be something similar like this, but slightly modernized. So now that you're wearing it nice, and probably I like it on you. Maybe I'm going to get one now. But I wasn't impressed with the home and away.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't always buy goalkeeper jersey. I buy home away. I don't really think about goalkeeper jersey. But
Yeah.
when I saw the home and away, it wasn't really giving me that excitement that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
I wasn't loving it. And then I saw the goalkeeper one. I'm like, you know what? This one actually looks kind of nice. So let me just get it. And that's why I purchased the goalkeeper jersey. And I've not worn the other two yet. They're still in the packaging. But this one, I saw I'm like, I'm going to wear this one for the show today because I was just feeling it a little bit more. Even the home one, I saw the players wear it against Iran. It still wasn't giving me that excitement. I'm not loving even on the white one. I'm not loving like the flames design that they are doing. It's for me, it's almost like as if Nike said, these people did not qualify, so let's not waste our time doing some crazy design. They just did something quick, and just say you wait. If you win the next AFCON, maybe we'll consider doing something more, exquisite for you guys. But yeah, the Super Eagles have the new jerseys. If you have the money to purchase, feel free to get it. I don't sell it; Nike sells it, so all your money goes to Nike. And if you want to get the ones that are not so expensive, there are people in Nigeria that can run it for you as well. But yes, I just want to point it out. Wearing the new goalkeeper jersey, repping Maduka Okoye, Stanley Wabali, and the rest. Somebody said the colors do not represent Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria's colors is green and white, and at the end of the day, this is the goalkeeper jersey. Goalkeeper jersey is always off-colored because they cannot wear what the players are wearing on the field. So goalkeeper jersey is usually
about the green on that jersey.
That's what does not represent Nigeria
because we are not a lemon/green wearing color.
No, I okay. Well, that's not a lie. I mean, our last jerseys have had some sort of lemon green, but they've usually been the secondary, not the primary.
You know that the one that had lemon last was the 2018 World Cup, was it? That and that World Cup, you can see the stripes of eagle there. At least you can say, oh, that one's represents us. You can see that stripes of eagles there. But when you just come out of the blue moon and
no, fair. That's a fair assessment. Look at this is the I have
Yes.
the home one.
Yes.
So it's
You
it's
are you
not
adopt Nike now. Charge them. Oh.
it's not I agree. It's not Nigeria's green. It's definitely not
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria's
They
green.
will put the NFF there.
Yeah.
You see.
Impressing. Like I don't know. It's still not. I'm out of frame. It's still
Mm-hmm.
not giving me that wow that I want to have when I'm wearing
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria's jersey or when I'm seeing Nigeria's jersey.
I don't think
But
I'm gonna be getting this as a goalkeeper.
you know, but I don't even know. I think I might even still prefer it to the white one because the white one with all the flames that are going on, But I have to say, this is probably the worst jerseys that we've had in like since 2018. Both
Yeah.
the male and the female version, since they've even started
Yeah.
making the female the one that you're wearing is fantastic away jersey. The Super
Yeah.
Falcons jerseys. In fact, I think I preferred the Super Falcons jerseys to the Super Eagles jerseys for the
Yes.
last ones that they did.
Yeah. That's one that they actually did. I don't
But
think
this,
the only one that's really I like was the retro one. That
I
one
mean,
was
that
so
one is the 96. I have that one as well. That one
yeah.
is a classic. Is a
Yeah.
classic. They had to bring it back because it was doing mad numbers, But Nike could
So
have
tell
done better.
people the because you call yourself a jersey collector, and that
Yeah.
is a so now you know that you are a Chelsea fan. I don't know if you also have any other jersey from different clubs or it's just only
Not
Chelsea.
different clubs, but I don't buy. So for clubs, I don't buy English club jersey except Chelsea.
Uh-uh.
I can buy Madrid, Sometimes I see Ajax jersey. I think the Ajax jersey is fine. I buy it. If I see
Mm-hmm.
even smaller clubs here and there, if I like it, I have AC Milan, I have
Uh-huh.
AS Roma. It just depends on what I'm feeling. But I cannot buy any jersey from any other English club. That's my rule.
Honor Arsenal, I buy their jersey, they win the league.
Because of what?
Yeah.
Arsenal, the Arsenal is the one club that I can never give them money. Mm-mm. Unless if maybe I lose a bet or something,
Uh-huh.
I can never just take my money and give it to maybe if one Nigerian player goes to Arsenal now and then he
Uh-huh.
sends me his jersey, I can accept it.
Uh-uh.
But if it is for me to spend my hard-earned money to give
Uh-uh.
Arsenal, no, 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 no.
uh,
I would rather buy in the past. I think years ago, I think I bought a Man City jersey.
uh-huh.
This was before they became. This was before they became the Man City of winning 4 in 5 champion Premier Leagues. But now I can't. If it's not Chelsea, even Chelsea now they vex me. I don't want to give them their money again. But I don't know. I can't buy other English teams. But Madrid, I have Madrid. I have AC Milan. I have AS Roma. I have all sorts. National teams. I buy other national teams. Even I just got the new Brazil jersey as well because I thought it looked nice. I got the new Brazil one. I'm thinking about Netherlands. I like the Netherlands jersey.
Yes.
As the other ones. Look, Adidas really did well with their jerseys for the World Cup. I must say that. I'm a Nike guy normally. Like I buy a lot of Nike shoes, Nike products, but the World Cup kits, man, the Adidas kits that I've been seeing, they've been looking very good, man. And
Very good.
Nike needs to step their game up.
We
For
go
real.
back to Adidas. So what do you think?
That's if Adidas is willing
Like
to
we're
pay
going
us.
to Puma, not Adidas.
Yeah.
It's like
NFF,
Puma.
when they finish the negotiation, they should let me know. I don't have
Okay.
energy to think of
Yeah.
all of that. But yes, new jerseys, we'll get into all of that. Similarly,
Yeah.
let's go quickly into CAF, the Convention of African Football. Of course, we know the controversy that has surrounded CAF in the past few weeks with the
Mm-hmm.
late removal of the AFCON trophy from Senegal. But we're not talking about all that now. They just had their new their General Assembly, and some updates have been made. First of all, Sam Malaramu, formerly the what was it called? Director of Competitions, or I forget the exact title, has now become the
And
interim.
events.
Yes, has now become interim general secretary. So congratulations to him for that one. But the one that really concerns we the fans, we the audience, is the changes that they've made to the CAF competition. So they've announced a few bold moves. Continental competitions. There's now going to be 2 continental competitions: the African Nations League Continental and the African Nations League Pan African.
Pan African,
Um,
yes.
the understanding is that the continental one is the flagship one or the first tier.
Mm-hmm.
It will be played within regional zones. The
Mm-hmm.
national team to compete locally, then the top performers will advance to a final tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is with the removal of the Chan tournament.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing here, I guess, is that it is going to allow for players that are not only based in Africa, but also based in Europe to be able to take part in the competition. Similarly, so I want to ask you about that. With the removal of Chan, Chan was this tournament that we know was there to help to, showcase the talents that plays within Africa. With this new Nations League, and the first year one allowing foreign-based players to also take part in the tournament, do you think it's a good idea that CAF has gone ahead with here?
So for me, see, Chan is a waste of time and money.
Mm.
Let's be honest ourselves. Chan is for agents to sell players. That is it. Chan is not giving. For example, now, are you going to pay your money and go and watch a Chan game? The level is crazy. See, the last Chan, Patrice Motsepe, and his CAF team had to beg those North Africans to participate because they don't want to. In fact, Morocco, I think, nearly sent their under 23 team to go and play in that tournament. It's irrelevant to them. In fact, South Africa sent their team C, not the Roland Williams, not the Tebo Mokwena, not the Apollos or Police. Yeah. They sent their team C. I think all those people played in Celebog United, Chippa United, all those players, the one that they sent to go and play. So, it's just a tournament that is not, refused to grow. So, and there is this popular idea where I come from that if you plant a tree and you have been watering the tree for years and there is not bringing fruit, you cut it down. So I'm happy that they cut it down. At least, let us face the reality. Local players should be able to compete with the national team. If they cannot compete, then they should go and sit back. There's no competition for failure again. So I'm happy. And Nations League is going to be very interesting because I'm also hearing that they also want to, the way the Europeans do their Nations League, maybe that one can give us a leeway to the World Cup. Some of the highest ranked team, in the Nations League might probably, get advantage of going, the way they get ranked and that the World Cup. So, because since that we cannot qualify normally, we have to look at everything, to make sure that we play in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. I know, okay, Morocco. I mean, Morocco there too. I'm Morocco. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the other Nations League formats. We have it's called the what's it called again? Sorry,
Pan-Africa.
The Pan-African, African Nations League. This one will take place every 2 years, and it will mirror the traditional now format of the Africa Cup of Nations with 24 teams competing in a continental tournament. So do you understand, I guess, the importance, the relevance of this Pan-African Nations League?
So, because I understand the idea, but the issue is that I don't know, maybe you said something that FIFA also cancelled the October transfer. Sorry, October
international window. They are compressing
it. Yes, so they compress it to it because it doesn't make sense. We play in September, October again, November again. So it's not going to be like a 4-game.
A longer window.
Tournament, a longer window. So at least they can release players for it's probably going to be like 3 weeks or so that they can play 4 games, in between. No, I think it's 2 weeks. They go and play 4 games in between that. So I think that's what CAF is trying to, take advantage. But they have not released how that Pan-African will really work. It's just like they have just come out to just say that it's going to be what Pan-African, it's going to be similar to the AFCON. I really want to see the concept of that because they said that they're going to play, then the finals is going to be in November, that same year. Let's see exactly how it works out. He said it now, and for me, I really want to see exactly how he wants to design it because I know about the Nations League that they will select, for example, now we have, we have 2 zones in West Africa. We have WAFU A, we have WAFU B. So they will select a country in WAFU A, a country in WAFU B to host the Nations League between the countries over there. So, but what I don't understand is that is it going to be like level 1, level 2, maybe Division 1, Division 2, that we don't have to play against Togo. We're having to go play against Benin Republic. We'll play against Ghana, play against Burkina Faso, play against Ivory Coast. I don't know how they want to do that. Maybe we're going to play against like Niger Republic. I don't know how they want to do that. So I think they need to come out and tell us, very well. Maybe they go with promotions and also relegation. in that Nations League.
Yeah, we still need to hear more about the format, because as of now, we kind of feels a bit redundant. Okay, you cancel the or you move the AFCON rather to 4 years, but you're putting something in that place. How is it going to work? What's the format going to be like? I mean, the European Nations League, that one has been going on for a couple of years now. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but I mean, it's kind of takes away the need for pointless friendlies and allows more competition, within the structure. The only thing that I would also say is that from an African perspective, maybe some of these opportunities to play against some of the European nations that you might not necessarily, are now going to be taken away. However, we know that it's not every African team that takes advantage of that. While Ghana are playing against Austria, Germany, Nigeria is playing against Iran, Jordan. So not everybody takes the opportunity to play against a top tier nation, but I mean, that's also just something to consider. If we're having more quote unquote competitive matches all within Africa, what opportunity do we get to prepare to potentially face a team like England or France or Brazil in a World Cup scenario? Is it only going to be the match window before a World Cup in the summer? So it's just an interesting one, but we'll wait until we hear more from the CAF, from the
and
CAF.
To also say something too, I don't know exactly how they want to fit into, that we normally play AFCON qualifiers.
Yes.
And we also, there's going to be Nations League, there's going to be AFCON qualifiers. Now, I know that the Nations League is going to be in 2029 or 2029. So maybe, I don't know how they're going to fit in World Cup qualifier, because we have how many windows? We have the October, September window now. We have November, we also have March. I mean, probably June. But we know that June is not always free. June is either one competition or the other. So it's only March window that we actually would really have to even play against all these big countries. So, and there's this FIFA series, so I don't know if you know about that.
Yes.
FIFA is we don't between
for the lower tier
teams, and is Gabon a lower tier team? Gabon.
What's their ranking on FIFA?
Maybe something. Okay, they are lower. Okay, Ghana should play FIFA series there. I think Ghana need to go and play. Ghana need to go and play FIFA series there.
No, but I mean, it just gives, because like realistically, a country like Gabon, like, what chance would they get to really play against some European nations? Gabon is a team that is only by the grace of God that they can maybe smell, the World Cup. So for the most, nearly doesn't kill a bird. I mean,
I know. Yeah.
So it's like you can keep coming close, but otherwise, they just played They played Uzbekistan. They played against Trinidad and Tobago. They lost against Uzbekistan. They drew and they won on penalties against Trinidad. So it's just an opportunity for them to get some interesting matches. I saw Tanzania played against, was it Liechtenstein? And it just gives you some matchups that you would never see. So I'm all for the FIFA series, to be honest. Even though, like, now we looked at Tanzania losing against Liechtenstein, it just doesn't reflect well on African football. If a team like.
But what about Rwanda beating Estonia today? I watched that game. Very, very good game. The final of the series in Rwanda. Full to capacity. Feel everywhere. Oh man, it was a very good game. And this brings to my conversation that we had before. Sorry for diverting, guys.
No, go on.
I'm talking about the average teams in Europe and the average teams in Africa. For me, I think they're probably at par, because Estonia.
But is Estonia an average team in Europe?
No, but is Rwanda average team in Africa?
They're an AFCON team.
Rwanda qualified for AFCON. They are not average team in Africa. They are below average in Africa. They are low in Africa.
Okay, I guess they are below average. I'll give you that. They are below average.
Yes.
But I mean, I'm looking now at their world rankings. Rwanda are ranked 130, Estonia are ranked 129. So now their level be that.
That's it. So if our level, our level and their level, of course they destroyed Estonia today. And they won the series.
No, you're right. But I mean, again, it just, if we lose when we have, for me, it's just, again, some teams can do well and it looks good, but some teams might also not do well. And like Tanzania losing to Liechtenstein. Tanzania is 110th. Liechtenstein is 205. It should just not be happening. It should just. It should not be happening that Tanzania is losing to Liechtenstein, especially Tanzania that is putting up a fight against Morocco, putting up a fight against Nigeria. They should be able to do. They should be able to do better than that. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good series. If Nigeria says, maybe that's the way we'll be able to play some interesting, some
You
interesting
know, yeah, like just if you don't get money to play better, at least if they pay out, I don't know, but those FIFA series is crazy. I saw one team I never heard about them before. They called Grenada.
Grenada,
Is it
yeah, Grenada, Caribbean
I hear
country.
that in fact, they even had like 7 points or so. I don't know in the World Cup qualifier in the second
Mm,
round in Copa America. In A, so these are the teams that Tanzania, Kenya beat
mm.
mercilessly, and they should not even be playing football. They should not be playing. You know, I saw Sierra Leone against Azerbaijan. To me, they're not the team from that in Baku. They play against Ukraine. They draw against Ukraine. This Azerbaijan. And I saw them playing Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, though they won on penalties, but Sierra Leone was like, competed well. So, all these teams there now wow.
Mm. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. Okay, the final one is the change that was made to the AFCON. I mean, we've kind of
Yeah.
heard about this one before, but they finalized the whole outlook of CAF's new structure with the competitions. So the AFCON is moving to every 4 years. So we're trying to now align ourselves with the international calendar. The rest of the world. The 2027 AFCON is going to be 28 teams. That has also been a change. 4 additional teams from 24 to 28. So like now with these 4 additional teams, just even kind of piggybacking on what we're just talking about, with certain teams maybe not getting the best of results against some of the countries from other continents that are not so good. Do you think that the AFCON needs to be expanded, or is this something that could potentially water down the level of competition of the tournament?
We know what I done. See, AFCON is not just about football. AFCON is a celebration. We've suffered so much in this continent. So that's why I said when I think into like 4 years, we need to see ourselves on a regular basis. We need to band together. All these for 4 years things like saying yes to somebody in Zurich. I'm happy that it's 28 teams and it's necessary. You know why, Hayoti? The next AFCON will be hosted by 3 countries. So those 3 countries deserve what? Automatic slots to play in that tournament. So, and because they're going to play 3 host nations, you add them to 20, only 1 slot for Morocco before. So add those 3 to, that's 26.
Yeah.
So why can't you just make it 28? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Just make it 20. I think that's what they're trying to do. And if you look at it too, there's some countries here that qualify for the World Cup. They didn't qualify for AFCON. Our fellow Chile people. So they don't have quality, but at least they will not come to AFCON. They can beat them anyhow, but at least they will give us our vibes more. They could dance more, we could see the vibes more. There's Cape Verde there. We like to see them, IoT. They have good things there. So Cape Verde will come to AFCON. Mauritania, Mauritania competed with Dagestan, though they were fighting for jersey of a picture of Messi, but at least they competed. IoT. They did so well to the last AFCON in Ivory Coast. So there's some good countries here that did not qualify for the AFCON. Guinea did not qualify, IoT.
Yeah.
So if you add those things to the list, you realize that come on, they can, we can do what they can join, So
You
in my
know who I
opinion,
want to see in the AFCON
is really
again?
good.
The country that I want to see in the AFCON against Madagascar.
Oh,
They
what
did
about
fairly well
Comoros?
in Comoros. I mean, we've seen them a little bit. Madagascar, they did fairly well in the water qualifiers. They finished second behind Ghana, but they did pretty well. They lost to the Chan final, with the last edition of the Chan. Last time that they went to the AFCON, or the only time that they went to the AFCON in 2019, it's been like, what happened? They topped the group that featured us, Nigeria. They topped the group. So I'm just interested in seeing what a country like Madagascar would do. Ordinarily, I would say maybe a 28 AFCON, 28 team AFCON is not as necessary. But I think even when you just look at the fact that the competition is going to every 4 years, that brings the necessity for having more teams the opportunity to participate. And if you're going to do that, you might as well start from the next one that's coming up. So I completely get it. Because if it's every 4 years and it's only 24 teams, we know the strongest of the strong teams, tend to always qualify: the Nigerias, the Egypts, the Moroccos, the Tunisias, those ones would always be there. What chance does it give the smaller nations, quote unquote, to really get an opportunity to play in the continent's biggest tournament? So I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it is. The only thing now is that obviously it's going to reduce the number of slots for third place teams, which
there's no third place team, I see.
Okay, because 28 teams, that's what
28 teams. So there's going to be seven groups.
7 groups, yes.
Groups of 4 teams.
So 2 times 7.
2 times 7 is
14.
Okay, it's 14. Okay,
there's two third place teams.
Okay.
But and I'm fine with that, because to be honest, I'm one of the people that I'm not a big fan of third place teams qualifying. Personally, I'm just not a big fan of it in any competition. It doesn't matter which competition it is. If you finish third, you see teams qualifying with 3 points. For me, 3 points should not take you to the next round of anything. I don't care, And even if you go look at Ivory Coast, it made a fantastic story for how Ivory Coast finished third, went on to win the tournament. But based on my own just way I look at it, Ivory Coast, obviously, I cannot say they should not have been there because that was the rule at the time. But a third place team should not be going to the next round. I don't care, whether sometimes if it's possible that you can finish with 2-3 points minus 5 goal difference, but because the other teams were sleeping or the other groups were tough. So for me, I like the fact that it's going to be less third place teams. So that at least now the third place teams that would qualify will be the ones that maybe got 4 points. The ones that really performed well and just their group was probably too tough or too competitive. So I think it's a good change overall. Patrice Motsepe is trying to lead CAF and African football in a modern direction. Obviously, there's a lot of boot leaking that seems to be happening as well, trying to conform to what the heads of FIFA want him to do and things like that, and not necessarily making everything about what is best for African football. But I'm not too mad at this one. I want to see how it progresses. I want to see how things go, and hopefully we keep enjoying this tournament. Like Milai had mentioned, so the African Nations League is going to begin in 2029. So we still have the AFCON 2027 taking place. They confirmed to us that it will go on as scheduled with 28 teams. We have the 2028 AFCON as well that will take place with 28 teams. And then the African Nations League will start in 2029. And then we'll move on to the future AFCONs in 2032, which will be 4 years after 2028. So yes, that should be a fun time for us. But hopefully we can keep enjoying our African football, because now the one way matter to us. As much as I'm generally a football fan, I don't really enjoy watching these European games as much as I like really watching and supporting Nigeria and watching other African countries. These European games now is just for us to watch Ghana lose and then laugh at them. It's not as if we really care, but we just to laugh at Ghana.
I like it. I like this initiative, honestly. And I think before we move on from this, I'll put on something. So now, if you want to host AFCON now, you might probably need to have 7 stadiums. At least 7 stadiums, if not 8.
Yeah.
So indirectly, it's now taking it away from countries without infrastructure. So now, how many countries can host a 28-team AFCON in Africa? It's hard. I don't think Ivory Coast can host this.
How many did Ivory Coast? How many did they use for the last?
They have 5 or 6 stadiums. Yes, with 24. But for me, I think they might probably struggle this time around. It's a big tournament. I said they want to host with their neighboring country. See, and I will say it here: Nigeria, Ghana, Benin Republic, and Togo only have 3 stadiums.
Combined though.
Yeah, combined.
But here's the thing. I'm not mad at it, because at the end of the day, we should not allow countries with poor infrastructure to even want to host these tournaments in the first place. And if a country like Nigeria, as big as we claim to be, doesn't have the right infrastructure, then we have no business. I think we as Nigerian fans, we all know that we cannot host anything, even under 17. Realistically, we cannot host, so we know that. But I just look at it that as much as right now we're not the biggest fans of Morocco, if Morocco are the only ones, maybe Morocco and South Africa, if they are the only ones that have the right infrastructure, then they'll be juggling it. 2032 Morocco will do, 2036 South Africa will do, and then until the rest of us, we have what's between now and 2032 to step up and to get our things in order. But we know, yes, the African situation is unique. the money is not flowing as well. Let's be realistic. If the administration of Nigeria, the government comes out today now and says, maybe Shehu Diko says they are allocating $1 billion to build 5 new stadiums in the next 10 years, people are going to run mad and say like it's a waste of money when people are suffering in the country and with the situation of the country. So that's the reality. Even if we have the money, we cannot, allocate the money for something like that. But I think it's a gradual, it's just a gradual thing. They don't, even if we're not thinking about hosting in the next 10 years, it's a case of, okay, let's have one other stadium that is actually usable. And then gradually, these things pop up. Private investment can also come into it. But again, if private investment is going to come, the government and the sports bodies, they need to make it seem worthwhile to these private investors. If you're going to ask Dangote, for example, to bring $200 million to build a world-class facility, he needs to know that that world-class facility is going to actually run. And everything is going to be comfortable. They're not going to be breaking into his stadium every 2 months, and then you'll have to be repairing things. Things are going to be maintained properly. The management is going to do everything well. There's right road network, there's infrastructure, there's all these things that lead up to it. Will national team games actually take place there? So there's many things that go into it. And of course, the government will also give them some kind of subsidy, some kind of grant. There's I forget which city it is in the US that they're trying to build a new stadium, and the government is largely like supporting the private investors real big in order for them to be able to build these kinds of stadiums. But I think it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. Infrastructure is not just going to pop up in one day. And one of the things that we lack in Nigeria is the maintenance culture. Even for the ones that we had before that were up to scratch, we don't maintain them. We don't upgrade them. We don't keep them at that standard. And it's something that needs to change. But I really do hope that we can start to see small by small by small, even if they don't want to start building a new structure from the ground up, something like the National Stadium in Abuja, all the stadiums that we have here and there, just spend money the right way and improve things. It's not just about, okay, we'll change the pitch. Because whenever you think of stadiums in Nigeria, that seems to be the only thing that they really think of, the pitch. And even the pitch, we don't see the great pitches that they are putting there. But modernize the stadiums themselves. If you have to reduce capacity a little bit to be able to add certain things that will make it better, even in terms of TV broadcast, we talk about how it is hard to broadcast games in most Nigerian stadiums around the country because they don't have the plug and play systems for all the modern day TV broadcasting, things that they need to do. I think it's just a gradual process. And before we know it, by 2045, maybe we would have like 5 good stadiums at least, and we can even beg Ghana. If Ghana too does there, or maybe Ghana has 3 or 4 or 5 as well. And we say, okay, Nigeria and Ghana want to co-host, the AFCON or something like that. But I think we need to be doing a lot more. We can do better, but it's a shame. It's a shame. And at the end of the day, if Morocco and South Africa are the ones that can keep up, then I'm not mad at it. Or Cameroon and Ivory Coast, I don't know how close they are to each other, can combine and do something together, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, because anybody that wants to host now, Nigeria cannot host, you have to combine with the country that can actually host.
Yeah.
For example, now, with US, we're going to also have like 4 approved stadiums, 5 or 4, from 0 to 5 or so. So, so for me, I just think that we need to also, I'm not a fan of taking the AFCON to only Morocco, but I just think at least nobody can step up. I think, if Morocco will host it from now to 20 years or so, let them continue to host it. Because Egypt can host it, but they are not putting they don't want to host.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure that they have enough stadiums to even host a 28 seat, because Morocco can host it. And I think that I will not be surprised if Morocco poach this next one.
See, and that's why when we're talking about the whole CAF situation that happened with Morocco and everything, when it happened on the live stream, the Moroccan guy that came to join us, his name was Yaya. He sounded very cocky talking about it. Well, we did a great job. We hosted it better than anybody has ever hosted it. We're on the level or even better than the level of the Europeans when it comes to hosting. And that's the thing in Morocco. While we're saying that, CAF is bending it towards them too much, CAF is doing this, CAF is doing that. See, who pays the piper? Guess how did they say it? Plays the tune. It is it is going to be how Morocco likes or how South Africa likes. And South Africa are the only ones that can come and say, oh, we can do the job. But realistically, we know that South Africa cannot do the job at the same level as a Morocco. They will just try because themselves, they are tired of the Moroccan stronghold on African football. But I think the rest of the African nations need to get their acts together, man. Like they need to step up. We need to do better. I'm not asking small countries like Cape Verde to host an AFCON, no, but the big countries like Nigeria, like Ghana, like Cameroon, Ivory Coast, we can and should be doing better. And that's just the reality. And I don't even know why I'm grouping us in the same bracket as Ivory Coast and Cameroon, because they are even doing better than us. So man, it's a whole thing, but that's why sometimes, like, while I don't feel bad for Patrice Motsepe and CAF, I understand their dilemma. When other nations are not ready to do the job, are unable to do the job, you have to go to the person that is willing. And if Morocco is the one that is willing, then it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, let us move forward quickly. I said this episode is not going to be too long. We're just about crossing the 15-minute mark. So we'll try to progress quickly. Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So I'll just make my first real confession. A lot of people were looking for me to do videos before the Iran game, after the Iran game, everything. I did not, because I did not have the time. That's just the honest truth. Some people know, some people don't know, but my birthday happened this past week. So my birthday was the day before the game against Iran. So the days leading up to the game, I was busy. I was trying to enjoy myself. I'm in my last year in my 20s, so I'm trying to enjoy every day before I turn 30. I have to appreciate, and I have to enjoy it. So, and on my birthday, of course, my birthday was the day before the game, which is typically when I would publish like a match preview video. But I was enjoying myself, man. Like I was out. I was enjoying myself. Then the next day, the day of the game, because the game was originally scheduled for, I think, was it 2 p.m. or something? I was originally scheduled for. By the time I got home the nights before, sleep, wake up, 2 p.m. Nigerian time is 9 a.m. for me here. So I already set my alarm. I'll just wake up 1 hour before the game is supposed to start. When I see line up, watch the game. But then they now even started the game earlier than they said they were going to start the game. So it was a whole mess. I watched the match, but I was watching it with like, normally when I'm watching matches, that's why you guys see whenever I do my reviews after a game, I usually look at my iPad. I'm going through my notes. Normally, when I'm watching matches, I'm taking notes. I'm writing things down. To talk. I did not take a single note while I was watching this match. I was just watching it the way I would just watch a game that I don't really care about. So that's why I did not do any match review. I did not do anything about it. So Smilayi, I'm going to defer to you more for this one. I'm hoping that you paid a closer eye than I did. But I mean, I did see the goals. I saw the goal that we considered. I saw the highlights, of course, again after the match. But Nigeria defeating Iran 2-1 in the first of our 2 match international friendlies. What do you think? And were you impressed with any of the players, any of the debutants? Of course, Chibuike Nwawu made his debut. Emmanuel Fernandez made his debut as well. What are your overall thoughts?
No, I that's the purpose of friendly games. You need to see new players and you need to see exactly what they can do. When the big boys are not really available. But in Nigeria, there's no friendly game. Managers, Jose Pesero, Benedro, they have played their first team players. Best legs during friendly games. If it was me had come to this camp or line that they play against Iran in Turkey. So for me, I think, but I'm happy that some players made their debut. Enforced change because injury happened to Igor Ogbu and then they brought in Chibuike Nwawu. So I'm happy that at least it gives people opportunity to see these guys for the first time. And at the first, this youthfulness, trying to do more slightly, with the two of them, Fernandez and Chibuike Nwawu. But towards the end of the game, they settled, and it was very, very good.
And I mean, I want to say this: if you haven't watched my interview with Chibuike Nwawu, after this podcast, you should go and watch the video on our channel on Eagles Tracker. Fantastic interview. And one of the things that really stood out to me was that I asked him at the time, he said he gives himself 2 years or maybe even 1 year that he wants to get to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That interview was in October of 2025, and less than a year, in fact, less than 6 months after he said that he has been called up to play for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and I'm just very happy for him. He nearly made a mistake, but unfortunately, fortunately for him, there was a foul, so the goal was, the opportunity went away. But that would have been a bad way. Nigerians, if you make mistake like this, especially on your first game, Nigerians will not forgive you. But overall, I mean, we won the game. I really liked Akko Adams' goal. Obviously, Moses Simon's goal was a little bit of individual brilliance. Let me ask you something. Like, what did you think of the way Eric Shaw set his team up? Because it wasn't the traditional, 4-4-2 or 4-1-2-1-2 that we've seen at the AFCON. What do you think of this setup
I
of
think
the
it's
game?
just trying new things, and we should give him his flowers for that. Because one of the things that affected Nigeria during the World Cup qualifier was we couldn't play without Victor Osimhen. We couldn't win the game without Victor Osimhen. But now that there's a new sheriff in town, there's Akko Adams, we're also trying to play with the players we have and see exactly maybe probably we can learn how to play even when Victor is not available. There's no Kevin Bassey, no lie now. No Victor Osimhen in that particular team. So for me, I like the formation. I think it's like a Genetros type of formation, 4-2-3-1 formation, like Chukwueze and Simon, supporting Akko Adams, and Lukman just behind Akko, and he played in that same O during AFCON with Iwobi and Ndidi, protecting the player, but Ndidi is slightly deeper than Iwobi, So for me, I think it's a different formation that he should try to and see exactly if it's going to work. I'm happy that he did that, and the team played well, especially in the first half. They created so many opportunities in the first half. I think by the time they played the game, they tired slightly in the second half. So the run came back in that game, but fortunately for us, we were able to grind out the results. But changing formation, at least let us have a new taste. In fact, I would like him to even play with it at the back sometimes. Let's just see that variation. Let's see exactly how we can play games. Not only that type of, he's trying new things now. Not only the one that we saw during AFCON.
Right. Very well said. Very, very well said. Okay, and let me just ask you and also just mention. So since the first game, we've had two players that have officially left the camp. Maduka Okoye, we heard that he suffered an injury and he has gone back to his club with Udinese to get better. And then Bruno Emechi left the camp to witness the birth of his first child. He just gave birth to a daughter with his partner in Greece. So those are two players that are out. Now, going into the second game against Iran, let's talk a little bit more about that. So, FIFA rankings is almost like Nigeria and Iran are not on the same. Nigeria and Jordan rather are not on the same level. Nigeria ranked 26th in the world. Jordan are ranked 64th in the world. So we're going into this one as favorites. Of course, we know that this is not the strongest iteration of the Super Eagles. Many key players, many first team players are not in the squad. But we're probably going to have Francis Uzoho in goals. Edison Sanusi is going to get his chance. And we still have the two first-time call-ups, Philip Otele and Colin Saw, that have not got to feature yet. Do you think that maybe this is a game where Eric Shell should be less worried about, am I actually going to win the game, and just try to give more people an opportunity? Do you say, I know the media and people on social media have been, Eric Shell is yet to lose in regulation time. The only two games he has lost were penalty shootouts. And that's all well and good. But a game like this, should he be a little bit less concerned about not losing and give the opportunity for us to actually see more of the rest of our players? Because we know what Ademola Lookman gives us. We know what Moses Simon gives us. We know what Chukwueze gives us. We know what Akko Adams gives us. But we don't know what Otele is going to bring. We don't know what Saw is going to bring. We haven't seen enough of Fisayo Dele Bashiru. We haven't seen enough of Eduke under Eric Shell. What do you think about that?
Well, I've seen enough of Eduke under Eric Shell, and it should not be called off again. If I don't know how the guy will improve, but let me just talk about not see. You see, Eric Shell is a guy that wants to win. Eric Shell was celebrating Unity Cup victory over Ghana. Was it Ghana in the final? Jamaica in the final. So for you to know that exactly that it's a guy that also wants to win. See, those guys they called up now. That he's meeting Otley for the first time. He only scouted him. He wants to see him play. And, he needs to earn his spots. So it's not as if, You are behaving anyhow in training, you're not doing enough, and you expect me to play in that game. No, Iraso, they need to end their sport. That is it. So that is when we can okay what they can give us. If they cannot give us anything, and then we go back to their club side and not play again. So for me, I just think that though I like them to play, but they need to end it in training. That is it. They need to end it in training.
No, I agree, but I mean, I guess my whole thing is just maybe there should be less emphasis on needing to win a friendly, especially a friendly against a team that is not quote unquote on paper on your level. Like I wouldn't be too happy. I will use the word. I wouldn't be too happy if he starts Simon, Lukman, Chukwueze, Ako against Jordan. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that the other guys, obviously, if they need to earn their sports in training, but you can rest Lukman in a game like this. You can rest Ako in a game like this. You can play Onwachu, you can play Otele, you can play Saul. Maybe you don't play all of them at the same time, but even maybe like and Iwanwu, let's see what Iwanwu can give us from the start. Let's see what other players can offer. And for me, it's just a case of mixing things up a little bit. Fisal Dele Bashiru, I would love to see Dele Bashiru get more time to really show himself. Maybe if don't play him as a wide forward, maybe play him as a midfielder. Maybe even play him in the number 10 if you want to play a 4-2-3-1 and see if he's more effective there. And that way we just get to see ourselves in all sorts of different scenarios. I understand his desire to win. I understand that Nigerians would obviously judge him in friendly games as if the friendly games are competitive matches. If he loses, the ones that have agenda against him, they will come out and say, it's just Jordan. He cannot beat Jordan. I understand all of that. But I'm just curious to see because, again, the AFCON, for example, I wasn't that crazy about seeing all those other people. Why? One, because it was a competitive tournament. And two, because a lot of people that he called for the AFCON, let's be honest, those ones had not really earned their call-ups. Like, we were very, very they were very questionable call-ups, the likes of Usman and Salim. Let me not mention too many names. But for these ones, when I look at Fernandez, I'm like, Fernandez has done well. I see why you called him up. Nwaewu has done well. I see why you called him up. Otele has done well. I see why you called him up. Only you saw zone that was quite shocking. Like, okay, has not really done enough, but maybe that one highlight of him being the fastest player in Europe this season is what Eric Shell saw and said, maybe I can take advantage of this. It will just be interesting to see, also to look even for this game now. I would also not hate Uzoho plays first half, Adeleye plays second half. Something like that for me. I'm not mad at. I just mix and match. Just try different things. Maduka Okoye has got injured now. Okay, Uzoho, let's see what Uzoho can do. But we already kind of know what Uzoho can do. So let's see Adeleye. Like, is he as bad as people say that he is? Is he better than people say that he is? Just give them an opportunity. Because even in that first game, like personally, I would have liked Maduka to maybe play 5 minutes and somebody else plays. Whoever the third choice is could have played the remaining 15 minutes so that you can allow the second choice to play the second game. Just all sorts of permutations and combinations. But I mean, I'm not the one that gets paid to make all these decisions. It's just what I am thinking of as a fan, from as somebody on the outside looking in, just saying like, it would be nice to give ourselves the chance to see other players in action. Well, I mean, Eric Charles is doing a good enough job, so we'll just keep watching, keep supporting. I'll ask you a little bit more about these upcoming games, but let me just track back a little bit to the game against Iran. So one of the issues a lot of people had was, we talk about this thing all the time. It makes me laugh just thinking about it. This inability or lack of access to live streams to watch the Super Eagles play. How easy or difficult was it for you, Smilai, to be able to watch that game?
I didn't decide the game until I go on Twitter that they say kickoff. So I went on YouTube to see maybe probably I'm gonna see it live. Ademola TV. I think he got the streams from one. It was buffering, it was lagging, everything. I had to I had to leave there and I had to search online to see exactly where I can actually view it live. It's kind of very unfortunate. See, IoT, we're even lucky that the game is played in Turkey. They play the game in Turkey. If the game was played in Nigeria, no go watch it. We will not go watch it. We only watch it when maybe some of your friends are using their phone to view on the sideline and show Nigerian score, or maybe probably they didn't disturb Mundo Victor to stream the game. So it's just very crazy that we cannot, we cannot. I don't know. That's the reason why I don't understand the way how people they run our football. Honestly, that game should be on like a live TV in Nigeria. Nigeria is playing. It's not on a 17. Super Eagles is playing. Nigerians should be allowed to watch that game. It's just crazy, just crazy. We don't plan.
I mean, I think it's quite a shame. Look, for me, I mean, when I eventually wanted to watch the game, like it was fairly easy for me to find the link, but I know that a lot of people were having issues, finding a way to watch it. And I think that it's something that the NFF just needs to do better at. Again, if you cannot sell the game to any broadcaster, maybe it's not valuable enough for any broadcaster, then NFF needs to just have their own setup. It takes a little, it's going to be a little bit of investment for you to buy your own cameras, for you to have your own internet, whatever, maybe get like Starlink or something that you can take anywhere and it's going to work and it's going to be good enough. But gone are the days of, there's internet issue in the stadium, there's one thing or the other. The same stadiums that NFF will tell us that internet issues why they cannot broadcast it. If it's a FIFA World Cup game, it will be broadcasted. So the internet stadium issue disappear for a World Cup qualifying match, things like that. So I think that they just need to do better. Again, we keep talking about the Super Eagles brand and how the Super Eagles is a huge brand and things like that. But if the fans cannot even get the opportunity to watch them play, it's a shame. Like it's a massive, massive, massive shame. You are going to a tournament like this, you cannot fly any of your media people to go there to take pictures, to provide high quality images. That game came and went. On social media, on Instagram, the only posts that we saw were the match day posts, the entering the stadium or their team walk in the morning. We saw the lineup, we saw halftime poster, we saw full-time poster. No single picture from that game was posted on the Super Eagles page. The only photos that we saw from the game were the local Turkish journalists that just traveled to go and watch the game, and just capture some images for their own personal portfolio. Not necessarily, and it's like, okay, let's even say you don't think it is worth it to fly somebody from Lagos to go with you to Turkey to capture the game. You can always go on ground and just look for a local Turkish journalist and say, look, we need a photographer to, capture the images from this game. We'll pay you, I don't know, maybe 300, 400 euros for this one day of work. The person captures the images, sends to you, you can use as you please. But it's all these little
things. How much is flight from London?
For even if they want to bring AY Sugar.
AY Sugar. How much is flight from London to Turkey? Is it Antalya? They play it.
Yeah, Antalya.
Antalya. How much is the flight? It's just that we don't set our priorities right. That's the problem. Because they believe that what was the rules taking picture? I mean, they go play the game. I mean, they collect money. They go. It's that's our thing. That's how they think. Nobody thinks about all this. They don't think about it. So, some people think that Super Eagles is their personal property. They can do whatever they like with it. It's unfair. It's bad.
No, it's a shame because it's killing the brand. Like people are not. That's why when it's time to renew your contracts, like Nike is going to come and bring another slave contract on the table. They're going to come and give you some unfavorable terms, and you won't really have a bargaining chip because the reality of it is that the popularity. I don't have the numbers, but I can bet you the popularity of the Nigerian jersey has been reducing since the time that we initially signed that jersey with Nike. So it's not as big a cash grab for Nike anymore. And when you also look at the fact that there's really nothing that Nike stands to gain in terms of the visibility. Why? Because we're not going to the World Cup. So it's not even as if you are qualifying for the World Cup and Nike is saying, okay, at least this will be seen on the global stage and they're getting that visibility and everything like that. A Nike would even rather spend their money right now on Victor Osimhen than spend it on the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That's just the reality. So we're going to get another bad deal, and I think that these are just little things that you can do to just increase the popularity of your national team, because we see time and time again, the Nigerians on social media, the Nigerians on the internet, they are ready to engage, they are ready to support national team when the content is out there for them to see, and it's a shame that we take one step forward, we take two steps back, because just in recent times, the NFF, they were getting a lot of plaudits for what they were doing with the social media. The AFCON, they got plaudits for it, things like that. But it's like, you do something right, you get some praise for it. then you forget or you just get very comfortable and then you take 2 steps back rather than just trying to get better every single day. But yeah, that was something that just annoyed me. Of course, people will say that sometimes I talk too much about these things. Who cares about pictures? Who cares about videos? That's what some people would say. But all these things add up to the value of your brand. If nobody, look, I've said this many times, you can be the best singer in the world, but if you only sing in your shower, nobody's going to know. That's the reality. So no matter, we can have the finest jerseys, we can have the most interesting players, we can do all of this. But if people don't have access to us, people are not seeing us, if we're not visible, if we're not in their faces, then nobody is going to know. And it doesn't help the brand at all. And when MTN comes, when they say they want to sponsor, you cannot ask them for $1 million, because what is the value that you're offering them for $1 million? That's why the little people that are coming, oh yeah, I will give your players 1 million for every goal that they score. That's why they jump at it, because that's the kind of cheap valuation that they put behind the Super Eagles brand. It's not an expensive brand. Super Eagles is not a luxury brand. You can't imagine. So I'm sure you can say you want to sponsor Morocco right now. Look at the kind of money that they will call for you. Even Senegal are AFCON champions, but go and say you want to sponsor Senegal and look at the kind of money they will call for you, and say you want to sponsor the Super Eagles. See if they can call that kind of money for you.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, let's move back to the upcoming match between Jordan and Nigeria. So this is, a fairly important friendly for Jordan, not as important for Nigeria. Jordan, of course, are preparing for their historic debut at the World Cup in the 2026 edition. They want to test themselves against a strong African opposition. For Nigeria, for Michelle, it's just another step in our rebuilding phase, I would say, preparation for the AFCON 2027 qualifying matches. And we don't want to lose any game, but I think that is also an opportunity for us to see some new setup, some new trials, some new players, and just see what the team can really do. And of course, we're missing some of our key players. I already touched on some players that have left the camp as well. The game is taking place on Tuesday, March 31st. The kickoff time hopefully doesn't change. I believe it's supposed to be 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time. It's taking place in Antalya in Turkey. I mentioned the world rankings earlier. Jordan are ranked 64th in the world. Nigeria are ranked 26th in the world. So there's a clear gap on paper. But again, anything can happen. It's a friendly game. In recent form, Jordan have won 3 of their last 5 matches. And Nigeria have won 3 of our last 5 as well, with 2 draws in regulation time. But of course, we lost on penalties against Morocco, and we won on penalties against Egypt in the AFCON. So yes, Smilai, look, okay, just also to add, head-to-head between the games, between the countries, I think Nigeria and Jordan have only played against each other once in history, and Jordan won. This was a 1-0 win for them. It was in 2013 in a friendly match. So it's been like looking forward to this one. Is there anything in particular that you've noted? Anything that you think we need to watch out for? Anything you are looking to see in this upcoming friendly?
So for me, I think it's just it's just another game. I don't expect us to be playing against Jordan, but as far as Jordan qualified for the World Cup, it's also something that that they might probably want to test themselves against African team. I saw their game against Costa Rica, just after we played against Iran, and they went 2-0 up against Costa Rica, but they considered 2 late goals. And they drew that game 2-2, against Costa Rica. But one thing that they can do well is that because they get the crosses into the box very early, and when they do that, you make your opponent uncomfortable. So they do that one very well. Maybe probably that was their game plan during the World Cup qualifier. They did those things actually worked well. They're also suspect too, defending set pieces. So they can be going good for where you can cross the ball well in the final third, but they can also be suspect too when defending set pieces. So for me, I think that's one of their strongest areas. But when I saw the game between Costa Rica and Jordan, I did not see anything that can threaten Nigeria. Probably actually was among those 2 teams. So it's just the way we are. I don't think if I go to the World Cup, we'll not be playing against Jordan. We'll be playing against like a more tougher opposition, and maybe perhaps. We have to make do. So Eagles should work. You should watch out for the way they cross the ball into the box, so that we can actually avoid those things. That's it.
Is there any Jordanian player that stands out to you as somebody that can potentially cause some kind of problems?
For me, I don't. There was I forgot the person's name now. He plays for Pyramid of Egypt. You know, maybe he plays for was part of plays for Pyramid of Egypt. I will try and like remember his name now. You know, he plays for Pyramid of Egypt. You know, if you very very good, very very good. They have a couple of players that plays in Africa.
Fakuri, Ode Fakuri.
Odefa Korea. So they are a couple of players that plays in one guy played in Wydad. Is it Wydad Casablanca? You know, I think one of them played in Morocco. So they have this couple of players that plays in Africa that
They have one player that plays for Rennes in France.
yes, ran in France too. So but for me that Fakuri for Pyramid is a very, very good player. You know, and he has mastered the African craft. You know, when you are playing for Egyptian clubs now, you have to know the African craft.
All right.
Yeah.
And as far as setup, what kind of setup are you looking forward to seeing from Eric Chelsea Pirates?
I think he's going to probably try like a 4-2-3-1 formation. So see maybe probably these boys can get it very well. But like you said earlier, I also expect changing personnel because now Lookman is becoming more important to the way this team actually plays. We saw that during AFCON. He scored three goals during AFCON and he's made like 4 assists, 7 goal contribution. So it tells you that how important Lookman is to this team. What if Lookman got injured? What if he's not available? How are we going to play? So maybe, I think probably needs to look at how he can bring in Dele Bashiru, that same role. See exactly who can sure do something there. So in my own opinion, I just think that the formation can be the same, but maybe probably with different personnel.
All right. Yeah. And I think I would agree with you on that one. Like I mentioned, I want to see a change in. Doesn't have to be a wholesale change. Maybe again, well,
Alex Iwobi and Lookman. He should not play them. Let's see
let's see exactly. Can we actually create? Can we dictate the tempo? This is a team that we're supposed to be much better than. So this is even the kind of game that you can risk, not having some of your best players and seeing how your team performs. Because again, when you go into a tournament situation, you never know. Suspension can happen, injuries can happen, players can be unavailable for whatever reason, and how are we going to be able to fare? So it's something that's very, very interesting to see. But I'm going to be watching the game, and hopefully there are no issues watching that game. And if everything goes well, then I should be able to do a post-match review for that one as well. So stay tuned to the channel Eagle Tracker to hear or see that post-match review after the game. I cannot say for a fact if it will be live or if it will be pre-recorded and posted. But just make sure you are on the channel and you have your notifications turned on so that you know when that is going on. And if there's any chance that I can actually stream the game on the channel myself, I will look to doing that one as well. But yes, we have to wait and see how that one goes tomorrow when it's time for the game. Okay. Those are the main things that we had to cover today. I said today's one wasn't going to be too long. I don't know if Smithlight, there's anything else on your end that you want us to just touch on quickly. It can be serious, it can be not so serious.
Yeah, just like the issue that FIFA said that we should have a assistant coach or a main coach,
female coach,
male coach. So for me, I think it's a good thing, and I think that I'm not being sexist here, but I think that females should also have input in their sports because in this sport is very, very important, especially the issue of like privacy, things like I don't know I don't want to be so controversial like Mama today, but I just think that ladies should be everywhere around, fellow ladies too. I think it's actually very important. So and it's not a challenge for our players now, ex-players, to get their license because I put this on one video. I was so surprised that no Nigerian female coach, according to that lady from Zambia, got any CAF A license in the whole 250 million people. No CAF A license. So for me, I think it's not a challenge for the NFF for the players to that they had to need to actually do something.
No, I think that's a very good point. And I'm happy when I saw it as well. I was quite happy with it because yes, I mean they cannot force the head coach to be a woman, but there needs to be at least a assistant, and women need to be in and around these teams. So like, look, you're not wrong in raising privacy concerns. We've seen all sorts of scenarios where coaches have been what's the word, inappropriate towards some of the female players. There was a case, I think, was this Slavia? They should not come and hold me if I'm wrong, but I think there was a case, I think it was in the Czech Republic, where one of the female teams, their coach had been spying. There was a camera that had been spying on the players in the locker room for months before they found out. You know, so you can imagine these players, they are taking their shower, they are changing, they are playing, like they are just in the locker room. You know, you are free. You feel like it's a safe space. So it's something that there definitely needs to be more women around the sport. We want the women's football to grow. And yes, right now we know that you probably say the best coaches in the world are men. Yes, the best fitness trainers are men, the best assistants are men. But if we don't bring women more and more into it, the women are not going to get better and they're not going to grow. And again, like I said, it's not a thing of the head coach has to be a woman. No, the woman just has to be either the coach or the assistant coach. And of course, as many as possible that you can fit into roles in the backroom stuff. I think that it's definitely an important one, you know. And I was happy when I saw that news as well. I think FIFA made a good call, you know, for sure.
And is there any friendly game for the Falcons coming up?
Not that we've heard of. You know, this is one of the things that, again, God bless the NFF, man. Because at this point, if you swear, you have to start praying for them. I don't know anything about any friendlies coming up for them. I've not heard anything. The players obviously were disappointed when the AFCON, or the WAFCON rather, got moved. There's supposed to be an international break in April, 7th to 18th of April. Nothing has been heard. All the players that I've been in contact with, nobody has told me anything about going to Nigeria for friendly. So it's a shame, man. It just seems as if we'll just be at home, we'll wait again. And then before we get to play the WAFCON, there'll be one more international window in June.
Yeah, maybe they're waiting for that one to give them friends.
Some kind of exactly. Then they will organize friendly against Cameroon, and everybody will just move on as if that's one.
That's normal.
Oh man, Nigeria, God help us, really. God help us. For the players, I feel so bad for them because I've spoken to different players and they talk about how embarrassing it is, man, when people are going from their clubs and everything and you're just there. You can't, you know, it's a big shame, man. It's a big shame.
Big shame. Yeah, I know.
Okay. I initially showed you guys my what's it called? The home kits for the new Super Falcons jersey. So let me just show you guys what the away jersey looks like, the white one. So similar whites with lemon green. The green it's a lemon green, but it looks like a faded lemon green. It is not it's not the sharpest of colors. It feels like, I mean, Nike, if you buy original Nike jersey, it always feels like a good jersey. It looks clean. The detail, you can see the detail in the NFF logo. You can see the detail in the Nike logo as well. It looks really clean. It has like a nice mesh. This green part at the back, it kind of looks like a mesh design. I don't know if you can necessarily see. You can see through it. You can see through it, you know, the green detail. I don't love it. Like I said, this flame situation that they have going on, I'm not a big fan of the flames, to be honest. I don't know what fire has to do with Nigeria or with this.
Fire on the mountain.
I mean, they could have done something else. They could have done it in like an Igbo style. They could have done something cultural, you know. They could have just made it more exciting, more interesting. But yeah,
you got this one wrong.
Yeah, I'm not loving it, man. I'm not loving it. But thank God I'm not going to the World Cup, because if you imagine we're going to the World Cup with these jerseys, it'd be a bit sadder. But this is what we have. This is what we have. I don't know if they'll wear it tomorrow. Maybe when we see it on the players, maybe it might
be better. But the other one wasn't good.
What is it?
The other one wasn't good.
No, the other one wasn't good at all.
Against Iran, it wasn't good though.
Someone says, what do you think about adding stars to our logo to Nigeria's AFCON trophies? What do you think, Blay? Should we have 3 stars on our logo?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should because since they are doing Star Wars now. Uh,
But is it a bit funny because okay, some countries now their own star represents World Cup,
World Cup.
but our own star the AFCON because
AFCON
if Brazil say they are doing star, Brazil's one is for World Cup,
for World
Argentina's
Cup.
one is World Cup, France is World Cup. So
Uh-huh.
Nigeria will now put 3 AFCON stars,
No. I think if we are going to play AFCON,
and then we can have
our
it there.
jersey too, we
Mm,
have it there. But I
okay.
remember Egypt will have like 7 line up,
Mm.
sometimes, if we can have that, if we go to the World Cup with our 0 star,
You keep it clean.
and then keep it clean, just go there directly. So for me, even our WAFCON too, arrange 5 for top, 5 down. Let us intimidate them. Go to the next WAFCON. Let us intimidate them.
Mm.
So I like that.
Okay,
I like
okay.
that. Yeah.
I know that some teams, when they've won too many, like I think in the Czech Republic, Slavia Prague or so, instead of 1 star for each one, I think now 1 star represents 5 titles or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Because they've won so many, so it's like okay, they cannot just fill their own just with stuff. Now each
Yeah.
star is 5 titles, and they just do it. However, but I mean, I think the idea of if we're going to the AFCON, you can have the stars. If you are going to the World Cup or you're playing a FIFA tournament, please remove the
Yeah.
stars because you don't get left for
Yes.
the World
Because
Cup.
that star is only for the African continent because it was
As for like another one, after the CAF decision to strip Senegal of the title, Senegal have been very defiant, man. They've been they've been doing showcase, they've been carrying their jerseys, they've showed us their new jersey with the 2 stars. They're enjoying themselves. What do you think about that? Do you think is the right play from Senegal to just like be like, oh we don't care what CAF is saying? What do you think?
For me, I think Senegal should just allow the cast this thing to come out, and I think that will be the best thing for me. They're just trying to show to that, they are still the champion. That until cast actually will win that decision, and Morocco already planned to report it to FIFA that they actually they are disobeying the courts, they're disobeying CAF, and there's always punishment attached to disobedience. See, this CAF politics is so murky. I just hope that you can clean it up the next one. Honestly. Honestly, I hope I can clean it up. I want to make one point too about the interview with Sonny Kaita. He mentioned something that some people don't like a particular player. That is when they criticize him, and I like that statement. He didn't go further, but I like that statement. He will know who he's talking. If you don't like a particular player, you don't bring it him down. Can you see? Despite us saying these things, but Sonny Kaita said that. Some people don't like a particular player, that's why they hate it. So it was a very, very good, good. I know that the way you make your guests relax, conversations, not interview. It makes they feel free. They talk more than expected, so they feel free because okay, I'm going to start controversial now slightly. He said that he did not know what happened against Greece. That he was just on the TV. Is he Aye? Because if you okay, I just go to say I want to go and choose somebody. I'm going to go and just choose somebody now, and I said I didn't know what happened. What type of excuse is that? So would you say that one is Aye? I don't understand that. I don't understand that bit because no because it's the moment of madness or what should we call that? Because he was clearly upset. That game, I still remember like yesterday. I couldn't carry my right leg. Since I went to go and watch it in the review center. Everybody finish game like this. I put my head, say, because then I was even in Kano State. Then I was in Kano. So it was really, really shocking. I think that we have performed very well because the tournament was in Africa then. That performed very well. But it don't pass. But we're still gonna remember it, but it don't pass.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up, man. If anybody is here, if you are here and you still haven't watched my interview, my conversation with Sonny Kaita, I don't know what you're waiting for. You deserve a knock. But please, after this stream, after this podcast, go and watch that conversation. Fantastic. It's not too long.
I've watched it twice.
We covered a lot. Let me play the trailer for people that maybe have not seen it so that I'll encourage you to go and watch it.
I had a red card. Is this something I regret? No. No one get it easy, and everyone have its own story. I was dropped before we traveled to the tournament, and everyone knew that I deserved to be there. With the Nigerian national team, I remember I got some guys that we get on really well with each other, including Obina and Sopo. There was top names there. Kocha was there, and you can see the technical ability Mikel got at the time is top notch. He knew where I was. I can always find him. That was the connection we had. I see myself doing nothing apart from football. When I look at my silver medal today, I see nothing but gold medal. That tournament, there wasn't any time that Messi he was at his best. He terrorized people on the pitch. So we managed to keep him quiet. There are some fans who really love football and they have a personal hatred towards certain players. That need to stop.
How did you cope though? Because from a mental point of view, it could not have been easy. How did you cope?
I said.
So yes. If you haven't watched it, man, go and check it out. It's available on our YouTube channel, Eagle Striker NG. You can also listen to it on Apple Podcast. You can watch it on Spotify as well. And anywhere else that you listen to your podcast, it is available for you to consume. Fantastic one with Sani Kaita. That's a great one. And I'll keep posting some clips on our social media for people to just engage with as well. I remember there was a comment that I saw. Somebody said that he believes that he was paid to get a red card against Greece.
I don't think so.
But it's interesting because, like you said, he said he doesn't know what happened. And look, I spoke to him after the interview. We spoke and we mentioned, and I spoke to him about a red card again. And it's interesting because the man insists, like, it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but he insists that ask him, like, did the guy say something to you? Like, did he insult you? Did he say? And he said no. That the guy did not do anything to him, that he honestly does not know what happened. It's like he honestly, like, he said that he has he has moved on, because he is like, if he does not move on, his mind will not be okay, because he said he does not know what happened.
What the guys have
all he knows is that the ref just said red card, and he was confused, and it's when he now went back that he went to go and watch the video. And he saw it and he said, oh, wow, like this happened. He said he could not sleep for 3 days. It's pained him, but he doesn't regret the moment, and he says he does not regret it because it was not an intentional thing. It wasn't something that he wanted to do. It's kind of just happened in the flow.
We were playing well.
Yeah.
I see. We were playing well that day. We were leading, we were playing well. Everything they did.
Yeah, I can't forget. I was in secondary school, so I remember that game.
32 minutes or so. I don't know, maybe I used to remember. I just saw somebody pull a boot and he knelt down. You know that game that they did the caricature of it that time. Different newspapers did the cartoon with it, in Nigeria then. Oh man, it was. Sometimes all these small moments in Nigerian football, sometimes the flashback is just so painful. We were just a nearly country, in most cases. Because for me, I think we had a team that capable of growing tournament in South Africa and probably go to the quarterfinals or the semis, because we had the fans with us, everything was going well. But after the second game against Greece, the team did not settle again. So it was this thing. It was this, and it's a very good player. They cannot take that away from him. Very, very good player.
And that's the thing, it's funny how one moment can skew people's opinion, because I also saw some people on TikTok or even a few people on YouTube that were saying, he wasn't a good player. And I'm like, no, like, you cannot reduce somebody's whole career to one bad moment. Because if that's the case, we've had moments where even some of the greatest players, Zidane, how did he leave us? He left us with a headbutt that got the red card. Would you now say Zidane wasn't great, or Zidane did not achieve a lot because he spoiled it, in the end? So when I see people trying to reduce his entire career, he had more potential than he even did, because he had injuries that did not allow him to achieve so much in his career. But in the little time that he really played for us, in those like 5 years where he was part of Nigeria, 2 AFCON bronze medals, going to the Olympics and getting a silver from under 20. He made his debut for the Super Eagles at 18 years old. But there, he had a fantastic time. Injuries just cut it very short. But his 5-6 years that when he was at the top, he did he did quite well, So people should not reduce. Somebody was even saying, "Oh, he cannot be a role model for the kids because why would he do something like that?" And I'm saying, like, see, yes, what he did against Greece, was it wrong? Yes. Was it a bad example? Yes. But again, if anybody that has made that kind of mistake cannot be a role model, then Beckham cannot be a role model. Zidane cannot be a role model. Ronaldo cannot be a role model. Many players have had moments of madness where they've made a mistake, where they've punched somebody, where they've done all sorts of things, So Luis Suarez has had plenty. I know people that look up to him. So people should not, reduce his achievement or his career to that one moment. And that's something that I was trying to let people see with the conversation as well. Like, yes, we don't like this man for certain reasons, but there is more to the man. And just the way he spoke, his mentality on a lot of these things, he wasn't even holding a grudge against the people that threatened him or that wished him bad or that insulted him, and he just has a very unique perspective on these things. And I respected him for it, to be honest. Like, it was one of the people that I spoke to, and I'm like, I leave the conversation thinking like, wow, like, this is a very good man.
It was good. I've listened to him twice.
He lives in the UK with his family. He's coaching football now. He's trying to progress himself. He said he did not speak a word of English when he left Nigeria.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And
he was doing jika.
And look at him now. He has progressed himself. He speaks, communicates very well, and
effectively.
No, fantastic. But you were going to say something.
No, I just want to comment about he was Nigeria happened to him too when they didn't take him to the AFCON in Benin Republic. So, but later made the World Cup. But just there was one thing that they skipped. In the semi-final against Ivory Coast, you mentioned that he played in that game. Oh my days, he was part of the player that made us lose. There was this guy in the midfield of they call that one, I don't know, Bonaventure Kalu. He's the other brother of Suleiman Kalu. He was playing for PSG there. He taught him a football lesson. He was driving that midfield. And he played, he was with JJ Okocha in that midfield. He played with JJ Okocha in that midfield. I think Mikel also was there also. I don't know what happened that Sonny Carter had to play that game. They ran him ragged in that game. He was just doing he just came from Nigeria. He was just marking all those things, but zero composure, that day. And yes, he was. But he learned. That, he got moved to AS Monaco. That didn't materialize well, but he had his best days since Sparta. He had the best days in Sparta, yeah.
No, yeah. Oh, very interesting stories, and more of that to come on the Home of Nigeria Football podcast. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't watched our interviews, man, I don't know what you're missing. I don't know what you're waiting for. Exciting interviews that are there. Sani Keita is the latest one. Chibuke Nwaewu, and the next one that I have coming up is going to be Peter Agba, and then there's still more to come in the future. I'm trying my hardest to get all these people on board. But again, it's not just me.
It took time to get him to.
Yes, it took time, man. We spoke. He will say, okay, he will let me know. He will let me know. He doesn't talk at all. He doesn't. He does not talk. That's why I was very happy about it. But one thing with me is that I always say, I'm persistent. I really don't mind if you tell me no. As long as you've not told me no, I'll keep trying. If you keep telling me, okay, let's see, because at the end of the day, I don't want anything from you. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything. All I'm asking you for is your time to come and tell your story. So for me, if you tell me no, you don't want to tell your story, I respect it, I move on. But if you tell me, oh, okay, I'll get back to you, I'll give you some time. Then maybe in another 2 weeks, I'll check in with you and say, how far? Any updates, things like that. So it took months of trying to convince Sani Keita to come.
Months?
Yeah, months of talking to him, and he would just tell me, he'll get back to me, he'll let me know. Sometimes he'll read the message, he will not reply. Even when he does not reply, I'll see he has read the message. I'll say no problem. I'll wait for another 2 weeks, and I'll send him another message that I'm just waiting to hear back from you. And eventually he was like, let's do this. Which day are you available? I gave him a date. He said, okay, the date works for him. And we came and we had a wonderful conversation. So for me, that's how it has been, and even that's how I've always done, like right from the start of when I started Eagle Strike and when I was doing so many interviews during the pandemic. That's what has always been for me. I'm persistent. I try. Again, all I want from you is your time. I know they beg you money. I know they beg you anything. Just give me your time. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, whatever you have. Tell your story. After that, I leave you alone. I tell you.
I think you should. I think Brandon there. I don't know, maybe you are trying to get other people from different fields too. Maybe probably referees that have.
So I'm trying to. Obviously, I've done coaches. I've done Randy Wardrum in the past. I've done Samson Siasia in the past. That my Samson Siasia interview, to be honest, it came a little bit too early. Because by that time, people were not really aware like that. Because if I did that interview now, I feel like the interview would have done much better. But I've done Randy Wardrum. I've done Samson Siasia. I also want to do people in the media. Like I've told somebody like a Victor Modo. It might not be the most exciting because it's not a player, but I also think that for someone that has been in the industry for long enough that has experienced these things, he might have a unique perspective on just, that conversation might be more about talking about the lack of resources that we're facing in Nigerian media and things like that. But again, if there's anybody else that you guys think that would be good for me to talk to, man, feel free to comment. Feel free
I think
to
Brandon there.
I'll see if I can get Brownie there. I'm not directly in contact with him, but I know some people that know him. So I can reach out to them and just see, I want to get all sorts of people on board and just hear as many stories as possible. Personally, I just love these football stories. I just love hearing, especially the legendary players is more exciting. Okay. Let me just also mention, if you want to join the stream and you want to share your thoughts on any of the topics, I mean, not that we didn't speak about many topics. We're talking the Super Eagles, we're talking CAF. So you can call in. The link has been posted. It is pinned on the YouTube channel. So you can call in and share your thoughts. We would like to hear from you. Somebody says Victor Moses. Victor Moses doesn't really talk, so that one might.
He doesn't talk to Nigerian media at all. Has he even been to Nigeria since he left? Since he retired from the national team. Why do you think I never even come on Mika's podcast? Come on Mika's podcast.
Right, Abi. Someone says Super Eagles kids, man. He has been there for ages. I don't know. Does he know how to speak? That's very interesting. Let me see.
So he can't talk now until he leaves the place.
Sports lawyer. I've had a sports lawyer. I've had Pius on the show before. I've had Pius on the show before. People did not really watch that interview because people did not really want to learn about sports law. But I've had the sports lawyer. Media colleagues, yes, I want to have some media people, just all sorts of people that are making impact or have made some kind of impact or relevance in Nigerian football. I think are worthy of it. But of course, the players are usually the ones that get the most, interest and everything, whether current players or past players. I've promised you guys, Leon Balogun is still going to come. Yakubu Aigbeni. Again, Yakubu's situation is similar to what is going on with Sani Keta. It's like, bros, we go find the time. Don't worry. It's all these things. He's a busy man, so me understand it. And like I said, until you tell me no, I'm not doing, that's when I'll leave you alone. But if you are just telling me, we go find the time, don't worry, I will let you know. I will leave you alone. 2 weeks later, how far? We found time. Even Dan Lakpe, it's a similar thing. We're trying to just align on time, for Dan Lakpe to come. Akpe is a person that I'm really interested in talking to. Very learned man. Of course, he works as a pundit for Super Sport as well. So he has knowledge of football. And he has had his own fair share of controversial moments, criticism, those kind of things that will be interesting to talk about as well. So yes, lots of exciting things planned, man. I'm really just hoping that everything aligns itself. Our content is growing, but please guys, please keep sharing the content, keep sharing, keep liking, keep subscribing. Like we have so much more that we're trying to achieve, and without your help, we would not be able to achieve these things. Somebody said Rashidat Ajibade for how long? Look, the issue with Rashidat Ajibade's own is just timing. Rashidat and I were supposed to have a conversation ahead of the AFCON. Everything was planned to talk about the last AFCON and the upcoming AFCON. And guess what happened? CAF moved the tournament. So it kind of just, when CAF moved it, we both just agreed that, okay, yes, we'll put a pin in this and we'll talk about it when it's closer to the AFCON in the summer as well, So that's kind of what happened with Rashidat. But Rashidat's one is coming for sure. It's coming for sure. It's an Econ go before enter full punditry. I would actually try with William Trust Ekong. You know, Ekong and I, we have a very interesting. There's the time that Ekong, I don't know if you guys remember, there's the time that I posted something about Ekong and then he put it on his story and he called it fake news, you know. But then he also had moments where since then, like I post certain things about him and he appreciates it and he acknowledges it, you know. So I think Ekong is a nice guy, all in all. So we will try, you know. I don't have being sports money, but I don't have being sports audience, but who knows, maybe he would like to just speak and share his perspective. So that could be an interesting one. Or Dion Gallo also could be an interesting one. Or the Wingy. But yeah.
The Wingy would have been very good.
So I should speak to Osasobio.
Why you not into Osasobio?
It's not like I'm not into. I just think Osasu is a very interesting character. You know,
but I ain't going to do that by himself. Just like who I interview, like better. Nine go ask questions by himself. You're just going to watch like
he's a very interesting character, you
know. Yeah. Nobody is any request there.
No. Okay, we have one person that's waiting to speak. Let me just bring him on. Prof Data. Prof Data, thank you for your patience. Let's hear what you have to say.
Hello, are you there?
Yes. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. I haven't spoken on your show for some time. That's good. Okay. I'll start with people you wish to. I would like to be invited to your show. Most of them are female footballers. Number one, Nkechi Egbe. I don't know her, but I lived in the town where she's from in Anambra State. Number two, Rita Wadike. Do you know why? Do you know she was the one that scored the first goal in the Female World Cup? Do you know that?
For Nigeria?
Yeah, for Nigeria, 1995. Do you know that day she scored 2 goals? The next game she also scored. Many people don't know this. Many people don't know it. Another person is Kikoloma Ajoya. I just don't know why. Then the fourth person I'd like to include is Patience Abre, because that day we lost on 1st July 1999 to Brazil in the quarterfinals. I believe strongly if that lady didn't get that red card, we would have won Brazil. Yeah, we were worried. I can't remember if we had leveled, but that red card, if that lady didn't get that red, I don't think we would have lost to Brazil. Now, let me speak on the female side. There's something the female football I want the NFA to do. It may look funny. Have you observed in the CAF competition, no Nigerian team has reached the final of that female CAF Champions League?
Yeah.
And it's a shame that in the last time, I can't remember the year. Let me try to. I think it's 2023 when we lost to that Ghanaian club in the final, Benin, and that Ghanaian club went on to represent West Africa, Zone B. They reached the finals. The one of last year, we lost to the Iberian club, which we knew, I knew were better than that Iberian club. That Iberian club reached the finals.
But I don't. We didn't show that we're better than them that day.
To me, I felt we're better than that Iberian team, even though we lost. But the thing I'm simply saying is, these two teams that won, that they I think they, at least I remember the Iberian team, they reached the final. So that is something in the
you are even right with Ghana too. They reached the final too.
Yeah, they reached the final. So that is one thing I wish they could do. I remember, I think that's 2024 when Edo Queens represented the Waffle Zombie. They played a very good football, which the commentators really commented. But that team lost Edo Queens.
Okay, Edo Queens. Okay.
Yes, they played. There's one thing I liked, they were placing the ball on the ground. It was just, in short, that was their best chance to reach the finals, because they lost to that DRC team, which if you watch that match, it was, I'll call it, they lost due to clumsiness. The same way they beat South Africa, just the same way that was the same way they lost to that Iberian team. Yeah, that DRC team, they were loaded, notwithstanding, because if you check their roster, that team composed of many nationalities. They were Nigerians. They were, yes. So that is one thing I wish the NFA could do. Understand? I agree. Yeah, we're dominating, but looking at the club level, Nigeria hasn't been able to live up to expectation. I don't know if the problem is in how they're grooming the players, or how they, will I say, prepare them for future events. The NFA hasn't done that well. Now let me speak on the Super Eagles. I didn't watch the match. I looked at the highlights. The result is okay. I support what you guys say concerning the Jordan match. I think the coach should, if it's borrowing the type of heart or confidence, he should feel some players that need to be tested in that game. You understand? I think he should, get ready for that instance. Feel some players that have not been fielded in some time. And let me speak a little on the NFF. The NFF is a pity. It's like they're a group of people that don't think. Sorry, I've used this word on your show. I've used it on some show. They're like qualified quacks. Please, it's not that I'm wicked saying this. I can't see why the last Olympic, the under 23 didn't qualify. The Olympic before that, they didn't qualify. What's going on? If I'm sure, they missed two Olympics. I haven't seen any sort of preparation for this Olympic football, both in male and female. The female, okay, we have at least the potential to get through is there, but that of the male, they just need to work hard. You understand? It's a pity the under 20 team of last that represented Nigeria in the last World Cup didn't do well. I don't see how many players they can go there. But all those things depend on the type of management. You see, so that is one thing I want the NFA to look at. I just don't know how they can just sit down there, no plans for the under 23, no plans for the national team. As you guys said, it's a shame when there's a match played in Nigeria, you can't be able to watch it. But when it's played outside Nigeria, you can't even watch it relying on the Nigerian national television. Is unless if you have a means to stream it, or if you have data, maybe and you have time, you'll be able to watch such a game. That is something there. And it's just what and I remember Smiley Smith, you were talking of the NFA thinking of a way how to make it to the World Cup. I wonder what it means, but I'm not surprised, because I don't know if I'll say by NFF almost everything is possible. They should realize that jersey they made for the team, the green one, it looks like a Green Lantern costume. They should make the superheroes a hero. Or if they want them to be Green Lantern, they should make them a hero. Let me rest my case here.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Prof. Data. Thank you.
Okay. Can I just address something?
Okay, go on, Smiley.
The NFF cannot arrange the clubs. It's not their job. When Enyimba won the CAF Champions League, it was Uzo Kalu's magic, that brought those things together. So they are the ones that, because the $200,000 that Bayelsa Queens and Edo Queens got went to the state government. They go to the NFF. So the state government that owns the club, they take responsibility for that. So, and one of the things that affected Edo Queens then was that the coach wasn't on the touchline. Remember? The coach did not have a certificate. It was, yes, certificate. But Mike Kaduku doesn't have a certificate. So he didn't have a certificate. He's just doing it. He was sitting on the stand shouting, "Hey, why VIP boss? You are shouting from that distance." So the team played well, but so many things worked against them. So I just think that I hope Remo can get to the stage that their ladies can represent Nigeria. I'm pretty sure that the demand will invest more, in those ladies and see exactly, because there's now going to be Women World Club Cup.
Yes.
So I think our national clubs will have better chance of going to that than the men's World Cup, men's club World Cup. This women one, we had a chance of going there. So for me, I think that that is the area we need to actually to exploit and be able to go.
Okay. What you said is true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So it seems like we're just going to have one caller for this evening, which is not too bad. It's not too bad.
No, because nobody is ginger.
It's international break, so the mood is always a little bit low. People are not too excited.
No, but see, if you are going to the World Cup now, I'm talking about
if it was important games, yes, people would be more concerned. Now I don't know what would I be doing in June. Now I don't even know. Maybe I'll go on vacation. I mean, there's the WAFCON coming up, but I mean, other than that,
imagine WAFCON, just have a bowl of the World Cup, and I'll give you water to drink after. Because I just think that the WAFCON should not be at that time.
No, the WAFCON is after the World Cup.
I know, but I've been just before, not just to that the girls should the girls deserve more than that.
They do. They definitely do deserve more than that.
If I don't spend money now to World Cup, I would like to go to Morocco.
It's a shame, but it is well. It is well.
Who do you think before you go? Will you be thinking that USA can play in the World Cup?
Final.
No. No. Do you think do you think that the ideal World Cup final will be if they face Iran, the World Cup final?
First of all, that's if Iran will be there. We still don't know for sure if Iran will be there.
I would love them to be there.
I don't think USA can reach the final, and Iran cannot reach the final. No, I don't think USA can reach the final. They're not good enough. The European teams are still the best teams, coupled with the.
But America seems to be decent,
Decent what? Please.
I'm playing at home.
No, even Canada too. They're not good enough.
It's not good. Canada is not good. But I think Mexico stand a chance of going further out of the host nation.
USA that they just got thrashed by Belgium, by this Belgium.
I saw that game. I was not impressed at all.
So they're not good enough, and they are playing Portugal tomorrow. Portugal will flog them again. They're not good enough. They can't do it. Canada too. Shout out to Canada, my people. I love them. They are my home country, but they don't have the facilities. They don't have the players, man. They just
can't. Yeah, I agree too.
FIFA is releasing new tickets on April 1st, so I'll try to see if I can go and watch Ghana play when they come and play in Canada. The two games that I'm trying to watch Ghana against Panama just because it's Ghana, and I'm trying to watch Ivory Coast against Germany. I think that would be a very good game.
So hopefully, Ivory Coast against Germany.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm able to get tickets for that one. Somebody said, please interview the NFF president. Look, if you know who would help me talk to him, you think I'll be more than happy to interview them? Because people will say, interview Amaju Pinnick. Believe me, if Amaju Pinnick will sit down with me, I'll be more than happy to speak to him and to ask him some of the questions.
You ask him to select the time.
It's like he can choose whenever he wants to do it. That's fine. I'll be more than happy. These are interviews that I'll be delighted to take and ask the questions. For me, the only thing that I have when I do my conversations, the only thing that I have is I don't send you questions before time. That's the only thing that I always tell people. I can tell you what I want to talk about. Okay, I want to ask you about this. I want to ask you about that. But I don't like to send questions because at that point, it's not a conversation. It's PR. You practice the answers of what you're going to answer to my question, and then if I now mistakenly ask something that is not in the question list, you can now come and tell me, oh, but you did not put this here. Why did you bring it up? And there always has to be room for things to come up in the middle of conversation. Like if you answer something and then I think, okay, let me ask you about this as well. So I can tell people if they want to know, I can say, okay, these are the topics I want to discuss. I want to discuss your career. I want to discuss this. I want to discuss your time as NFF president. I want to discuss your role in FIFA, your role in NFF today, those kind of things. But I wouldn't give the exact questions. That's one thing that I don't do. I've had some people that ask me to send them a question and I told them I can't. And if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it, and that's completely fine. Stitch Music says he's going to the Ghana game. Okay, so if I'm able to get the ticket to be there, we'll be there. I want to watch it. I've never been to a World Cup match. I've been to under 17 World Cup when it was hosted by Nigeria back then, but I've never been to a first team World Cup match. So it'll be big. It'll be big. And then by God's grace, if all things work out, I might even be at the Women's World Cup next year. You know,
in Brazil.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting.
Everything works out. I've never been to South America as well, so Brazil is going to be a nice.
I think it's not far from you.
It's not too far. I mean, it's not close, but it's
how many hours from you? Where you from?
I'm not sure. Let me see how long the flight will be.
Let me see. I'm putting ideas in my head now.
To Rio de Janeiro. Tickets are not too expensive. It's like going to Europe. The price that I'm seeing here.
Let me see. Flight time.
These flight times are long.
Flight time is 11 hours.
Yeah, it's long. It's long. So for me, it's like, I'm seeing total flight time of like almost 20 hours.
20 hours?
Yeah, it's long. It's almost like flying to Nigeria. Because from here to Nigeria, that's how the flights are usually long. Because there's no direct flight from here to Nigeria. So you travel, then you lay over.
He said direct flight is 11 hours for me.
Yeah, I think it's far. Somebody said you not apply to be a volunteer. I'm not interested in being a volunteer. I'm sorry. Because the thing is that if you're a volunteer, first of all, you won't get to enjoy it because you'll be working. You'll be working. You don't get to enjoy the experience. You are helping other people to enjoy the experience. At best, though, if they put you maybe like as part of match day team or whatever, maybe you might enter the stadium for free. But it's not like you'll get good seats. It's not like you'll be working. I've worked in a stadium before. When I was in school, I used to work in a stadium here because I wanted to be in that sports environment. I wanted to be there on match day. But I quickly realized that working in a stadium is very different from trying to enjoy,
Yeah.
I remember then when I used to work in the stadium, I'm telling you, it's like I look up like this, the game is starting. I'm working. Before I know it is halftime. And I've not even had a chance to look on the field to see what's going on. Because it's constant. People are going in, out, left, right. People are buying things. People are coming to sit down. So regardless of the role that you are playing in the stadium, you don't have the time to actually soak in. Like, you feel the atmosphere. You're hearing the screaming, I remember then when I was working, it's only when a goal is scored, you will not hear, everybody will shout. And then they scored, but you don't get to enjoy it. So I wasn't trying to be a volunteer, for this World Cup. And plus, I was hoping by the time we were doing the applications for the volunteers, I was hoping that Nigeria will qualify. Obviously, if Nigeria is qualifying, I'm trying to capture and create content and report, not volunteer. So it just wasn't something that I really wanted to do. But I'll be going as a fan, man, going to watch games. It'll be a nice opportunity to just watch matches, enjoy football, and experience it for the first time. Toronto is gearing up. They've expanded the Toronto Stadium for additional seats. It's a very small stadium normally, so they've expanded it to be able to meet FIFA standards. And there's going to be mad traffic in Toronto during that time. I just know it. Everything is going to be so expensive during that time. That's how it is. Fastest you can do from Toronto to Brazil is 13 and a half hours, and I'm not even in Toronto. So I'll first have to. So, 13 and a half hours. And let's even say I fly to Toronto, okay, 1 hour flight to Toronto, then whatever layover, then go to 13 and a half hours. But I mean, if everything works out, like I'm really hoping like my life just goes in the right direction, all the things that I'm planning come to fruition, everything that I'm trying to figure out. And then it could be a good one to be there. If I'm able to get accreditation from FIFA, it could be a good one to be there, and cover the team. It'll be very good. I would actually like gladly sit on the flight, and capture, vlog the whole experience, and you people will help me make my money back by watching the video, by God's grace.
That is it.
And I'm constantly investing. You guys, I bought a new camera, everything. So by that time, I'll have all my equipment, make sure that I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I wish the Super Eagles were going to the World Cup. It would have an exciting time, but it is what it is. Tomorrow, Jamaica will be playing against DR Congo. And
That's the game that we should have been playing. You know?
that's the game that we should have been playing. But everything happens for a reason, man. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. By the next World Cup, Bismillah, how is your child?
I don't want to say if I think maybe you is going to stop watching because maybe probably the heartbreak will suffer before the next World Cup. Because if Nigeria doesn't go to the next World Cup, there's no point playing football in Nigeria again.
If we miss 3 in a row,
yeah, there's no point. I know we didn't talk about it though. Ibrahim Gusso is trying to return as the NFL president.
Yeah, of course he is. Of course.
And not delivering the World Cup ticket.
Who is contesting against him?
I think it's going to be Amaju Pinnick.
Against him?
I think it might probably be Amaju Pinnick.
Amaju Pinnick will contest again?
Yes.
For NFF presidency?
Yes.
Hasn't he already done 2 terms?
No, there's no limit to term.
There's no term limit?
No.
Really? So Amaju wants to come back?
He can. He's qualified to come back.
Look, I don't even want to think about this thing. And the only
because we come and campaign that the people that you replace me with the don't qualify for the World Cup.
You know, did he not miss the World Cup too?
He missed, but he qualified for one.
He qualified for one. He missed it. Who else is contesting? David Doherty.
I don't even want to talk about that. I think I don't want to chip him because he should be doing his campaign anywhere he wants to campaign. He can't be debates. The only one raising funds for the. I don't want to go into those details, but he should go and contest and do well. I wish him the very best of luck. We need people. Challenge this sort of. We need people. We need people that can come out and know exactly what they are doing. Can come out. But for me, I just think that we don't have somebody that can, change the whole thing now. Until maybe probably the big ones. I mean, I always say, you know what? I'm interested. And he get backed up by the presidency and the wins. Then it can become something. Yeah. So
David Doherty is serious. So
yeah. I think people have sent me his post that he wants to contest. I wish him. We want people. We want people to come and challenge. The status quo and say that everybody can actually do. But if we're going to vote for them, that is a different thing entirely. We need
can he win? That's realistically.
He didn't get any votes last.
Realistically, he cannot really win.
He can. I think he's just trying to, as it to the CV as a lost election.
Let's not be like he did not try. But realistically, he cannot really win.
He cannot win. And I don't think he's got any credentials to contest.
And that's another thing, really. Like, I'm all for the guys that are in power now to not be the guys in power. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But you cannot just put somebody else because you don't like who is there and the other person does not have the credentials.
He has not done anything.
For me, again, I look at these things, but you're bringing somebody to administer the highest level of Nigerian football. We need somebody that has run an organization that has achieved success. Like there should be a track record, not I was a former player. It's like there needs to be more.
When you say former player, you play former player that's only played in the league. I'm an ex-player. Someone that I used to chat on Instagram. That is not a criteria.
I can see this. I didn't even know he was doing a GoFundMe to raise money for.
Yeah. I think no. He can't because he probably doesn't have the capacity to finance
everything by himself.
Maybe he wants to give delegate money too. Maybe sort of the GoFundMe to give delegates. Maybe probably for $500.
They will collect your $500. They will still vote for somebody else.
Maybe he wants to do that. We see. But I just say that I'm a fan of people with credentials that can come and say, you know what, I did this thing before. This is my record, not to come and be speaking grammar. So that is what we want.
But if you want to donate to his GoFundMe, the link, if you look, and he's using all these AI images, but you can look. So far, he has a goal of raising £5,000.
Oh, that's very good.
So far, they've raised £164. So, he has raised 4% of his goal, £164 out of 5,000.
Yeah, he will get there. He'll get there, Yoti. He'll get there. It's bit by bit.
I really see people that I know here that have donated.
Yes, now.
Yes, Charles. Now. In fact, what am I saying? Charles, this same Charles that used to come on our show, Charles is the highest donor here. Out of the £164 that he has risen, Charles is responsible for. This is about 33 plus 22. This is what 63. About £75 from Charles alone.
Yeah, Charles is
Charles really does not like Ibrahim Gusso.
Yeah, anybody but Ibrahim Gusso, it's gonna take him out. So let's just see exactly what will come out of it. It's just that when you want to do, what did you do before in the past? Your records. Let's see, and let's see what you want to do for Nigeria. Okay.
I'm going to donate £5.
Okay. that is it now. Every time I'm going to help him do
tiny drops make an ocean, so
yes now, just to support and to see. I see small now, because now you are a very big person in the media. So that's the comment. Guys, you woke me up. It's just no comment to say you don't mention his name. See, wait, see.
Somebody said interview Giftoban. Giftoban cannot speak English. It's not an insult. Giftoban cannot speak English. Have you heard
it? There's going to be a lot of things like loss in transmission and so more. It's not really. He didn't grow up in Nigeria that much. I don't think so. I think he grew up in Togo. So it's probably gonna be this thing. Yeah, everyone looks okay. That's fine. I think Abi. I don't want to donate. You want to donate to the GoFundMe? Eh?
Who, me?
Donating to the GoFundMe.
I said I would donate £5 now. That's how much I have. £5. I'm still. You people should please watch our video. That's it. We're working hard. We're trying to get the.
Maybe you should go. He's always saying you should go for AUSWC.
It's not me that said that one, I beg.
It's not me that said that one.
Okay, so I think
yes.
We're done for today. Tomorrow, Nigeria versus Jordan. Tomorrow, I'll do a post-match review of that game. It might be live, it might not be. I cannot tell you for sure now. We'll have to see how the game goes. But yes, there'll be a post-match review of that one, and then of course Friday Night Football Club on Gone Football that would happen, and then next week we'll be back for another episode of the Naija podcast. Of course, football is back this weekend. So our favorite Nigerian players will be in action. Osimhen, I know he has had an operation on his hand. They said they're trying to get a protective this thing for him to wear. I don't know if he's going to be able to play, because I was looking forward to this match this weekend. It's Galatasaray against Trabzonspor, So I was looking forward to the game. But if Osimhen is not able to play, that would be rather unfortunate. It would have been a good one to see our boys go against each other. Charles is saying, happy belated birthday, Ayod. I pray God grant your heart desires. May He go your channel and give and turn it into a network. Give you a good man in Jesus' name. Amen. Very good. My baby will be reading this message now, saying that Charles, are you looking for somebody else to come? But thank you for your message. Thank you. I pray that God grows the channel, man. I have so many plans, so much that we're trying to do. The content is growing, but we can still do a lot more. And I've been saying this, guys. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers in 2026. So please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Share with people so that you can help us to get closer to that goal. I think as of now, what are we on? Let me just do a quick double check. As of this moment, we have 56,263 subscribers on. So we kind of need to double our outputs, our subscriber counts before the year ends. I think it is possible. It has been growing fast so far in 2026, and I think we can get there, but we need you guys to just keep sharing, keep liking, keep watching the videos so that we can keep reaching.
If we walk up now, it's gonna be like a different thing entirely.
That would have been a different ball game entirely. I know, right? It is well. Victor Boniface and Benjamin Frederick are back from injury. Boniface has been in rehab for a while. He's not going to play this weekend. But he's back in Bremen. He's back training, so that should go well. Same with Benjamin Frederick. He has been recovering for a little while. So that one, so hopefully we can see him back. I think they will send him back to Denda to complete his loan, because he can't get into Brentford, just like that. So. Aruban, it's not my birthday today. My birthday was on the 26th on Thursday. So Charles is just wishing me a late happy birthday. My birthday was on Thursday. But if you guys want to send super chats to celebrate my birthday, I'm still happy. I send super chats. It goes a long way. You help me pay my staff. I always say, like, all the money that we make on this channel, like, it really just goes back into running the channel and into doing our work. Trust me, I don't take any money from this channel and use it to go and buy food. I work hard. I do my other stuff. I have clients, that all the other stuff that I use to survive. This channel, everything we make from the channel goes back to the channel to keep producing content and just to keep getting better and keep growing. So yes, feel free to support if you would like to. But yes, all in all, it's been a good conversation. It's been a good chat. We just managed to shoot it over 2 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Not too much that we had to talk about today, but of course there'll be more next week once the club football is back in action. And this crazy world of Nigerian football, the gift that keeps on giving. I'm sure that we'll have things to talk about. Smilai, final word from you?
Yeah, fine. I'm, wish the team very best of luck tomorrow. But this is one of the worst friendly game ever. Window ever. Nothing, no excitement, nothing. But thank you guys for tuning in today. Good program again. See you again next time.
All right. And for me, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for paying attention. If you are yet to watch the interview with Sani Kaita after this podcast, make sure you check it out on our YouTube channel or Spotify or Apple Podcast. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.